The power and jurisdictions of the Superior Court in Malaysia for Introduction to Malaysian Constitution Individual Assignment. Good day everyone, I'm Litrin from University Tun Abdul Razak. Today I'll be sharing the knowledge of the power and jurisdictions of the Superior Court in Malaysia. Before we begin, let me start with a question. How far do you think a court should go to ensure justice is served? In 2006, a University Utara Malaysia graduate was tragically murdered, which is a crime that shocked the nation. Years later, the Federal Court upheld the death sentence to the accused, bringing this case to a close. But is justice truly delivered? This is just one of the examples of the immense power held by the Malaysia Superior Court. What is Superior Court? The Superior Court refers to the higher level of courts in the country's judicial system, which deals with more serious and complex cases. Here's a table to give you a better insight of the court in Malaysia. The first one will be the Superior Court, which is the topic that we are focusing on today. This is the court that focuses on appeals and also major cases. We also have a subordinate court, which is to focus on less serious cases or initial hearings. For Federal Court, it handles appeal from the High Court. For example, a constitutional dispute may end up here. For Court of Appeal, it hears appeal from the High Court. And High Court, it handles serious cases like a murder and a business dispute involving millions. Hierarchy Court in Malaysia. The top will be the Federal Court, moving on to the Court of Appeal, and the third will be the High Court, which is divided into Malaya and also Sabah and Sarawak. Federal Court. Federal Court of Malaysia, which holds the esteemed positions of being the highest court in Malaysia. Established in 1994, this court serves as the final appellate body for resolving legal disputes in Malaysia. Its decisions are binding and its role is pivotal in ensuring the legal framework of the nation is upheld. Let's break down to the power and jurisdictions of the Federal Court. The first one will be original jurisdictions, where Federal Court has the power to hear certain types of cases for the first time, instead of reviewing decisions made by the lower court. The first one will be determining the validity of law, where Federal Court can decide if the law is passed by Parliament or state legislatures are valid or not. Second will be resolving disputes between state or the Federation and states. Appellate jurisdictions, which means Federal Court is the final court of appeal. Revisionary jurisdictions of the Federal Court allows it to review how other courts interpret provisions of the Federal Constitutions. Finally, the Federal Court has the advisory jurisdictions, which allows Yang di-Pertuan Agong to seek the Federal Court's opinion on constitutional matters. Cradle Fund CEO murder case. Nasrin Hassan, the CEO of Cradle Fund, was found dead in his home in 2018. Initially, his death was believed to be caused by a fire. However, investigations revealed that it was actually a murder, not an incident. So why this case went to Federal Court? This is because of the public significance, as the higher profile of nature of this case involving a prominent CEO of the Cradle Fund. Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal is the second highest court in the Malaysian judiciary, situated between the Federal Court and the High Court. Power and jurisdictions of the Court of Appeal. It is divided into two, criminal appeal and also civil appeal. Criminal appeal, where reviews appeals related to convictions, sentences, or orders made by the High Court in criminal cases. Civil cases, which means the Court of Appeals hears appeals from decisions made by the High Court, unless federal constitutions or any law specifically says that appeal cannot be heard by this court. The Court of Appeals jurisdictions is outlined by the Article 121, Subsection 1b of the Federal Constitution. It covers appeals from the High Court in various areas, including criminal, civil, and other matters that are specified by the federal law, so the Court of Appeal has the authority to review cases from the High Court in a wide range of areas. Power and jurisdictions of the Court of Appeal. Overturning the death sentence of a Filipina woman. The defendant, Hairan Jamani, a 62-year-old Filipina woman, was arrested for carrying illegal drugs across Malaysia's border and suspected for drugs trafficking. As a result, initially sentenced to death by hanging. However, why this case went to Court of Appeal is because Hairan argued she was coerced into transporting the drugs, as she claimed she was unaware with the substance was illegal. The final decision of this case is the Court of Appeal reduced the death sentence to 12 years in prison, considering mitigating factors and lack of criminal intent. High Court. The High Court was first created during the colonial period. It was first established as part of the creation of a judicial system that will help manage legal matters in the country. It is divided into two divisions. The first one will be High Court in Malaya, which handles cases in Peninsular Malaysia, and also High Court in Sabah and Sarawak, which deals with the legal matters in the two states. Power and jurisdictions of High Court. Let's start with the original criminal jurisdictions, which mean High Court can hear serious criminal cases. These include cases where the punishments could be severed as death penalty. Moving on to original civil jurisdictions, which deals with civil matters like disputes over money or legal rights. The High Court handles civil cases where the amount involved is more than 1 million. It also has exclusive authority to handle specific types of cases. Case of High Court Malaya. Noor Fadilah binti Ahmad Saikin versus Chayed bin Basiran et al. The plaintiff, Noor Fadilah, a woman who applied for a position as a graduate substitute teacher. She was accepted for the job, but during the process, Noor Fadilah is informed that she was pregnant and the job offer has taken away because of it. She believed this was unfair and against her right, so she decided to legal actions by suing education officers and also the government. So why this case has been up to the High Court? Because of a violation of constitutional right, specifically plaintiff right to equal treatment under the law. A significant legal issue whether the question of pregnancy-based discrimination is considered as gender discrimination under the Federal Constitution. The final decision by the High Court, the court ruled that taking away Noor Fadilah's job offer because of her pregnancy was unlawful. It says that this act was violated Article 8, Subsection 2 of the Federal Constitution, which guarantees that no one should face discrimination based on their gender. In conclusion, the importance of Superior Court plays a critical role in Malaysia by ensuring justice, handling serious and complex cases, providing fair and impartial decisions. Thank you all for taking your time to listen to my presentation today.